Information security is most effective when employees understand how cyber threats work and how to respond to them. Many incidents occur because someone is rushed, distracted, or unaware of a potential risk. This training highlights the common warning signs to watch for and the everyday security practices that help keep our systems, information, customers, and most importantly, you as an employee or individual safe. Every day, organizations face a variety of security threats. Many people think cyber attacks only target systems and technology, but in reality, attackers often target people. For example, you might receive an email that looks like it comes from a trusted company or even a colleague. This is known as phishing, where attackers try to trick you into clicking a link or sharing sensitive information. Similar attacks can happen through phone calls or text messages, known as phishing and smishing. Sometimes the threat comes in the form of ransomware, where malicious software locks files or systems until a payment is made. In other cases, attackers may simply take advantage of weak or reused passwords to gain access to accounts. Not all risks come from outside the organization. Security incidents can also happen when devices such as laptops are lost or stolen, or when insider mistakes occur, for example sending sensitive information to the wrong person. Attackers often rely on social engineering, manipulating people into trusting them or acting quickly without thinking. They may send malicious links or attachments designed to install malware when opened. Even everyday activities can introduce risk. Connecting to public Wi-Fi networks, plugging in unknown USB devices, or accidentally sharing confidential data can expose information if proper care is not taken. The important thing to remember is that security is not just about technology, it's about awareness. By recognizing these common threats and performing simple security checks before clicking, downloading, or sharing information, everyone plays a role in protecting the organization. Phishing attacks are one of the most common ways attackers gain access to systems and sensitive information. These emails are designed to look legitimate, often appearing to come from a trusted company, a colleague, or even your own organization. One of the first warning signs is an unusual sender address. At first glance, the email may appear legitimate, but if you look closely, the address may contain small differences, extra characters, or a slightly altered domain name. Another common tactic used in phishing messages is urgent or threatening language. Messages that say things like "your account will be locked" or "respond immediately" are designed to pressure you into acting quickly before you have time to think. You should also be cautious of unexpected attachments or links, especially if you were not expecting the message. Clicking on these links or opening attachments can lead to malware being installed or credentials being stolen. A major red flag is any request for passwords or verification codes. Legitimate organizations will never ask you to provide your login credentials or authentication codes through email. Finally, many phishing messages contain poor spelling, grammar, or unusual formatting. While attackers are becoming more sophisticated, these small inconsistencies can still reveal that something is not quite right. The most important thing to remember is to pause and check before you click. If an email seems suspicious, verify the request through another channel or report it to your IT or security team. Phishing does not only happen through email. Attackers may also attempt to trick people through phone calls, a technique known as phishing or voice phishing. In these situations, the caller may ask for passwords, verification codes, or other confidential information. They often sound professional and convincing, and may already have some basic information about you or the organization. A common tactic is for the caller to pretend to be someone you trust, such as a member of the IT department, your bank, or even senior management within the organization. They will often try to create a sense of urgency, saying things like "your account will be locked in 10 minutes" or "we need to resolve this issue immediately." The goal is to make you act quickly before you have time to think or verify the request. In some cases, the caller may ask you to install software, reset your password, or provide access to your computer. It is important to remember that legitimate IT teams or organizations will not ask for your passwords or authentication codes over the phone. If you receive a suspicious call, the safest approach is to end the call and verify the request through official channels, such as contacting the IT department directly. When it comes to phone-based scams such as phishing, there are a few simple but important rules to follow. First, never share passwords or multi-factor authentication codes over the phone. Legitimate IT teams, banks, or service providers will never ask for your password or authentication codes. Second, always verify the identity of the caller using official contact details. If someone claims to be from IT, the bank, or senior management, do not rely on the phone number they provide. Instead, contact the organization directly using trusted contact information. If something does not feel right, end the call and contact your IT or security team to verify whether the request is legitimate. It is always better to pause and confirm than to act quickly and risk exposing sensitive information. Finally, if you receive a suspicious call, report it immediately. Reporting helps the organization warn others and prevents similar attacks from succeeding. Remember, attackers often rely on urgency and trust to trick people. Taking a moment to verify can stop a phishing attack before it causes harm. Passwords are one of the most common ways attackers gain access to systems and information. Because of this, good password and access practices are essential for protecting both personal and organizational accounts. First, always use strong and unique passwords. Avoid simple or predictable passwords and do not reuse the same password across multiple systems. Strong passwords make it much harder for attackers to guess or crack them. Second, never share your credentials with anyone. Your username and password are personal and should only be used by you. Legitimate IT staff or support teams will never ask you to reveal your password. Third, wherever possible, enable multi-factor authentication, often referred to as MFA. This adds an extra layer of protection by requiring an additional verification step, such as a code sent to your phone or generated by an authentication app. Finally, do not reuse your business passwords on personal websites. If a personal site is compromised, attackers may attempt to use the same credentials to access your work accounts. By following these simple practices, you significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access and help protect the organization's systems and information. Handling sensitive information responsibly is an important part of protecting the organization's data and maintaining trust with customers, partners, and colleagues. The first principle is do not share confidential information unnecessarily. Sensitive data should only be shared with authorized individuals who need it for legitimate work purposes. Before sending emails that contain important or sensitive information, always verify the recipients carefully. A simple mistake, such as selecting the wrong contact or using an outdated email address, can result in confidential information being sent to the wrong person. When sensitive documents must be shared electronically, ensure that they are encrypted when required. Encryption helps protect the information so that it cannot be read by unauthorized individuals if the message or file is intercepted. Finally, it is important to avoid using personal email accounts for work-related data. Personal email services may not have the same security controls as corporate systems, and using them can increase the risk of data loss or unauthorized access. By following these simple practices, employees help ensure that sensitive information remains protected and is only accessible to those who are authorized to use it. With more employees working remotely or using mobile devices, it is important to follow good security practices outside the traditional office environment. When working remotely, always use a secure and trusted Wi-Fi network. Home network should be protected with strong passwords and connections should be secured whenever possible. It is also important to avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks, such as accessing company systems, sending confidential information, or logging into important accounts. Public networks can be easily monitored or intercepted by attackers. Another important practice is to lock your devices when they are not in use. Whether you are working from home, in a cafe, or while traveling, locking your laptop, phone, or tablet helps prevent unauthorized access to company information. Finally, if a device is lost or stolen, it should be reported immediately. Quick reporting allows the IT or security team to take action, such as remotely locking or wiping the device, to protect sensitive information. By following these simple steps, employees can help ensure that company data remains secure, even when working remotely or on the move. Even with strong security controls and good awareness, incidents can still occur. What matters most is how quickly they are identified and reported. If you notice something unusual, such as a phishing email, a possible malware infection, a lost device, or a potential data breach, it is important not to ignore it. Early reporting allows the organization to respond quickly and reduce potential damage. Suspicious behavior might include unexpected system activity, unusual emails, unknown software appearing on your device, or discovering that a laptop, phone, or storage device has been lost or stolen. If you notice or suspect any of these situations, report it immediately. Contact your IT or security team and follow your organization's incident reporting process or system. Remember, reporting an incident does not mean you have done something wrong. In fact, early reporting is one of the most important ways employees help protect the organization. The sooner an incident is reported, the sooner it can be investigated, contained, and resolved. Reporting security incidents quickly is critical to protecting the organization. When suspicious activity is reported early, the security team can act quickly to prevent the situation from becoming a larger problem. What may start as a small issue can quickly grow into a serious incident if it goes unnoticed. Early reporting also helps protect colleagues and clients. If a phishing email or malicious activity is identified quickly, steps can be taken to warn others and prevent the attack from spreading. Finally, responding quickly to incidents can reduce financial loss and reputational damage. Security incidents can affect customer trust, business operations, and regulatory compliance. Acting quickly helps minimize these risks. By reporting suspicious activity as soon as possible, employees play a vital role in helping the organization respond effectively and maintain a strong security posture. Security incidents are not just technical problems. They can have real and serious consequences for an organization, its employees, and its customers. One of the most immediate impacts of a breach is the loss of customer trust. When sensitive information is exposed or systems are compromised, customers may lose confidence in the organization's ability to protect their data. Security breaches can also lead to legal consequences, particularly where regulations require organizations to protect personal or confidential information. Failure to do so can result in investigations, regulatory action, or legal claims. There can also be significant financial losses. These may come from fines, incident response costs, system recovery, or lost business opportunities. Breaches can also affect employees directly through job impacts. Security incidents often require extensive investigations, audits, and additional controls that can place pressure on teams and operations. Finally, a major breach can cause operational disruption. Systems may need to be taken offline, access restricted, or services temporarily suspended while the issue is investigated and resolved. This is why security awareness and responsible behavior are so important. Small actions taken by employees every day can prevent incidents and protect the organization from these real-world impacts. Information security is not only about technology or security teams. It is something that every employee contributes to through everyday actions. By performing a few simple personal security checks, you can significantly reduce the risk of security incidents. Before entering your credentials, take a moment to check that you are on a legitimate website and that the connection is secure. Be cautious of unexpected emails, links, attachments, or urgent requests that may try to pressure you into acting quickly. Always ensure that your device is secure and locked when unattended, and avoid accessing sensitive systems when connected to public or unsecured networks. When sharing information, make sure it is done through approved and secure channels, and never share sensitive data unnecessarily. It is also important to use strong and unique passwords or passphrases, and to enable multi-factor authentication whenever possible. Finally, trust your instincts. If something seems unusual or suspicious, pause, verify, and report it to IT or the security team. Remember, security often comes down to a simple habit. Stop. Think. Check. By taking just a few seconds to verify before clicking, sharing, or responding, each of us helps protect the organization, our colleagues, and our customers. Attackers are always looking for opportunities, and often those opportunities come from simple mistakes or overlooked security practices. One of the things attackers love most is weak passwords. Simple or reused passwords make it much easier for attackers to guess or crack login credentials. Another common opportunity comes from clicking links without thinking. Phishing emails often rely on people reacting quickly to urgent messages without stopping to verify whether the link is legitimate. Hackers also benefit when organizations delay incident reporting. The longer suspicious activity goes unreported, the more time attackers have to move through systems and cause damage. They also take advantage of shared accounts. When multiple people use the same login credentials, it becomes difficult to track who accessed what, and it increases the risk of misuse. Finally, attackers benefit when people ignore security updates. Updates and patches often fix known vulnerabilities, and delaying them can leave systems exposed to attacks. Understanding these behaviors helps us recognize how small actions can create opportunities for attackers. By avoiding these common mistakes, we make it much harder for hackers to succeed. Information security is not only the responsibility of the IT or security team, it is everyone's responsibility. Every day, simple actions and good security habits help protect the organization, our colleagues, and our customers. Protecting your passwords, being cautious with emails, handling information carefully, and reporting suspicious activity early are all small behaviors that make a big difference. Cyber attacks often succeed not because systems fail, but because someone is rushed, distracted, or unaware of a potential threat. By taking a moment to pause, think, and follow good security practices, each of us plays an important role in keeping our systems and information safe. Remember, security starts with awareness, and awareness starts with you.